Let's get straight into my Tuesday panel. Former Queensland Premier, would-be soon-to-be Senate candidate Campbell Newman and Labor MP Joel Fitzgibbon. Joel, I'll start with you if I can first. You've been a Defence Minister. You were a Defence Minister during the time we were in Afghanistan. It didn't have to end like this, did it?
No, it shouldn't have, but sadly, Taliban control was inevitability and was so from the time the US announced their withdrawal from Afghanistan. Look, we initially went in there under the Howard government to rid that country of Osama bin Laden, Al-Qaeda, other terrorist groups, which were training people to do harm right around the world, including potentially to Australians. That mission was complete. It was done with great success, and it's a great tribute to the role to our special forces and other Australian Defence Force personnel, the role we play in that. Then, of course, having installed a new government, a democratically elected government, it all became about making sure that government had its best chance to survive, to ensure that the Taliban did not take control of the country and again play host to terrorist groups. And we did our best by building an economy, training their security forces, giving them the chance to have some longevity. But none of us could have imagined what a challenging task it was trying to build an Afghan national army and an Afghan national police. On that front, we failed dismally. But, you know, Peter, in the end, we gave the people of Afghanistan every chance to live under a different regime in a democracy. But in the end, apparently, they just didn't want it enough. And certainly the Afghan National Army was not as sufficiently prepared to fight for it.
Yeah, well, I disagree with you on that point. I mean, I think the people would want what they had. I mean, they had free lives, the girls could go to school, they had some semblance of an economy, and they had democracy. I think the issue is the Taliban, and the issue is how quickly Campbell Newman, you're a former army officer, the trained army dropped their weapons and ran. There was no firepower left from the United States. I think that was criminal. The US and Australia and the UK were always going to pull out. We took out our active forces about 6 years ago. We only had training forces there now. But we should have kept up that air support certainly a lot longer than we did now. And what got into Biden's mind to tell the enemy exactly the date he was going to walk out the door staggers me.
Look, Peter, we could talk for the next half hour about this. I know time's limited. There's other things you want to deal with. But look, you know, this is a huge issue. It has created a regime with modern weaponry who have an agenda. Certain sections of the Taliban certainly will have an agenda, as one of your previous guests this evening was talking so eloquently. So I won't cover that again. But it has really diminished America in the eyes of its foes around the world and democracy. It's I think, going to be sort of. I think Russia and China are going to take the wrong lessons from this. They will see that there might be opportunities here, and I think that would be a fatal miscalculation that's bad for all us. But a miscalculation could lead to terrible things. And the final thing I want to say on this subject is, look, I am really angry with our government. You know why? Because they didn't get all the Afghans out. And I don't know what it is with this government, but everything they do is slow and ponderous. You know, I'm not being wise after the event. On the 11th of July, on this network, I called for urgent action to get Afghans who'd helped our security forces, our ADF members, out of the country. And there were other people at the time, and yet here we are with the Prime Minister today saying, sadly, some people are going to be left behind. And that's just wrong. It really is. It's not good enough.